Hello and good morning. I think it's Tuesday. Mr. Erickson, how are you?
Fantastic. Thanks for having me, Adi. And I think this is the first time we chat, but I feel like I already know something about you. You're doing such a great job running your own business and reaching out to senior people.
Thank you. I have waited my whole life to interact with quality human beings and quality business people from all over the world. And I feel privileged that I can even be in a position where I can interact. And so the feelings are mutual. So thank you. And I've been following you online. You are a person of influence for the right reasons, a banker, a lecturer, a speaker, and a new writer.
Yes, I just going to publish my book in a few days.
Very exciting. All the knowledge over all the years. And some of your credentials. A few years ago, you were the director of Citibank in Hong Kong, as well as the managing director at UBS. And more recently, the founder of the Institute of Life. Can you tell me a little bit about the Institute of Life, please?
Yeah, so it is a company that I set up to help young people to advance their career, to achieve meaning and money in their life through network, through online presence, building their personal brand, and also to help them get to know what are the small actions that they can take in order to achieve big success in life. So it is on a personal front, my sheep to launch my portfolio career.
That's very nice. And do you find that you focus quite a lot on action? Because I find that a lot of these youngsters are all excited about new ideas and new things, and they can get so overwhelmed by all the success that they see, they don't know where to start.
Yes, there are so many new ideas out there, so many role models for us, and it can get overwhelmed. And we also see many of our friends becoming successful, launching Series A, Series B for their startup, raising hundreds of millions of dollars. And that can make some people feel bad about themselves and they don't do anything. So for me, my advice is, yes, you can read, you can admire people, but take one small action every now and then. If you can take a small action, write one article, reach out to one person, buy a coffee, then over time you will do well.
Wonderful. I've written a little bit about how to beat procrastination.
Oh,
and
that's
nice.
Nice.
And one of the things is the small actions. Is when you see something small that needs to be done, do it there and then. Let's say you drop something behind the couch. Stop.
Yes.
Move the couch. Fetch the thing. Carry on, because if you get into the habit of doing small things quickly, then when you are faced with the big things, you're so used to doing things that you understand how to break it up.
Yep. In life is like what you say, any big task break down into smaller one, and you do one at a time. Within a few months, you would have achieved something really, really big.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I'm going to enjoy the conversation. My name is Adi Kaimowitz, and I am involved with a business called Virtual Actuary. I try to help the actuaries be their best. We have local and global clients, and for fun, I do things like this where we talk about entrepreneurship and life and how to be healthier and things like that. Okay. And so the topic for today, Eric, is who should we aim to be online, is participation really necessary, or is being the observer okay?
Yes. It's okay to be an observer. And by observer, I mean not creating new content, just engaging with people that you respect, that you admire, engage with their posts, reach out to them, like what you have done, reaching out to me. And from there, you build relationship. From there, you see what they do, and it can affect you, it can impact you, and you become a better person. So this is great for people who are just starting out. Sometimes it is so daunting to say, I want to write long articles 3 times a week. 2 months into the job, into this task, you run out of ideas. So there's no need to do that. For me, I write only once a week. But on the other hand, this active participation is writing these long articles. If you have the audience, if you already have the ideas, by all means go ahead. But it is not necessary to do so.
It can be very, very tricky. Right, it's a full-time job. Content creation, it really is. And sometimes
I want to give I want to give the audience one little tip, because I have already got so much content out there. So for anyone who wants to start online without doing participation, without spending a lot of time on content, feel free to use my content and make it yours. You don't have to give me credit. Just take it, change a few words, put in your own example, boom, there you go. And because I have articles for the last 6 years, choose the one that resonates with you. So this is what I want to offer for those audience out there who are going to spend the next 20 minutes with us, a little reward for you.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so if we look at business online, sometimes people can call it social media. Now, I don't like that, because it means that it's fun and games. And even though it is fun, it is serious. It's about earning an income. It's about being a business person online. Okay. And so there's two people that I interact with, two types of people. The one is the senior manager or the director that peaked in their career in 2010, 2015. This new world for them is irritating. You know, they're used to the big boardroom, the big building, you know, their office is open, but don't knock too many times. You know, your old school business corporate person, and they need to interact with the online world. Okay. And then the other one is the up and coming that has 5 years of experience. And so how do we try to convince the older person that business online is actually correct, in my opinion?
Yes. For the most, I wouldn't say they are old, I would call them senior and experienced people. If they already have a big title, big position in the corporate, they could be thinking about retirement or their next job. Social media is going to be fantastic, because that's what I do. Social media actually changed my life from a corporate job to now having multiple sources of income, the freedom to work on what I like, to choose when I work, and to choose who I work with. In a corporate role, there's no chance you can do that, right? Even if you're senior, you got shareholders to take care of, you got bosses to take care of. Sometimes you cannot say no. especially if your own values go against the corporate mission. Whereas when you're on your own, you can do that. And then to do things on your own, you do need a social media presence. Number one, you need people to know who you are before they come to you for business, because if you are no longer with a corporate, you want to do things on your own, people buy your time, your services. They need to trust you. And these days, we cannot meet because of COVID. The way people meet you is they see your profile, the content, and who you are engaging. And more importantly, are you helping other people? Because you are successful means you have a lot of knowledge, you have some amount of money. We want people who have already been successful to do something for the other people who have yet to achieve success or who are still young. So social media allows you to do that, to give back, which you will derive a lot of satisfaction, to give yourself some exposure so business can come to you, and also for self-development. Because when we were in the corporate, we specialize a lot. The people we know are the people within the company and within our industry. And a lot of time we mix with people around our same rank or just one or two rank below, same age, same country, same city. Social media suddenly allow people like you and me. I've never been to South Africa. I don't know whether you have been to Singapore, but now we are having a conversation. And a lot of people are going to watch this and listen to us. If we wait for face-to-face, you and I may never meet ever. Right? So that is for the more senior people to try and live a life that they can continue to make money at the same time having that freedom and fulfillment. And the other group of people with 5 years experience, just starting out, feeling unsure whether, do I have content that is worth publishing? Because sometimes when you're young, you say that all that I know is already out there. It's not true, because some senior people like to engage with young people. They want to learn from you. And also, if you got 5 years experience, you can still teach the students in the university, because they want to know how is it like getting a job and how is it like working for the first year. So there is always an audience ready to listen to you, an audience who can benefit from your knowledge, even if you are 3, 5, 7 years in the workforce.
Absolutely. You are absolutely speaking my language. I really like what you're saying. It's a lot of hot topics there that resonate with me. Okay. And so I've got here, why is content creation so important, our online personality? But I'm going to fuse that with another question here, which is called, it's a topic I talk about a lot, called the corporate brand world versus the you as a brand world. And in my opinion, we are shifting from people only wanting to buy from the big corporations to being very happy to buying from a brand that is a person. The you as a brand. A quick example would be you use an actuarial services business and you've done work with them before. The next year you phone and you want to deal with Mary, and Mary doesn't work there anymore. And so you say, well, hold on. And then you phone Mary and you say, where are you working? She says, I'm working at this business. You say, well, I don't care where you work. I want to work with Mary. So before, you would use the business and who did the work was inconsequential. It didn't matter. But now you want Mary, where she works is inconsequential. And so can you tell me a little bit about how people must understand that when they build their life and their career now in business, it's not about I work at this business or I work at this business, but rather this is who I am. This is what I can do. I am the business.
Yes. These days, if you look at marketing dollars, where is marketing dollars going to? Marketing dollars are not going to newspaper, not going to big media company. A lot of it is going down to the individual. So I have done some of this work myself where I'm being paid to talk about a product that I truly believe in. So rather than giving that sum of money to a newspaper, then to broadcast out, it was given to me. And it means the individual now has a lot of influence, and we call that influencer. I don't call myself influencer. LinkedIn staff, they like to call me a key opinion leader. That means I have an opinion about something. My job is not to influence people. My job is to inform. I share my advice. And with that, I win a lot of trust. And there is immediate engagement. When I do a post, there is engagement. When the advertisement is put on a newspaper, you have got no idea how many people have read. You have got no idea what they think about the advertisement. Whereas when I do it at the individual level, the engagement feedback comes within minutes. So within 3-4 hours, you already roughly can feel this campaign is doing well. What are people talking? For example, if I want to talk about defining wealth, so much on it that we can talk about, and it's live. I mean, I can swing the discussion to one way or another to make sure that we hear from different voices.
Very nice. Please carry on.
Yeah. So just now you say that the individual brand and the corporate brand. For me, when I worked for UBS and when I went on LinkedIn, my title was MD at UBS. After working for UBS for a couple of years, I know that one day I'm going to leave. So I changed my headline on LinkedIn is what you read out just now: banker, lecturer, speaker, writer. Because I don't want to be defined by just one job. I feel like all of us, we are multi-talented. You cannot be just actuaries alone. You cannot just be CEO because you have other roles. You could be a teacher, you could be helping out in non-profit in the evening, or you may be a family man. So why restrict ourselves? So that's one thing good about the personal brand. I don't like to use the word personal brand because it feels like you are packaging something not really good. You just put a wrapping paper. No, personal branding is really changing what's inside you to become the person you want to be and to become the person you don't know you can be. And that is possible only when you have a huge network. You let people give you their ideas through your posts and through the engagement. And for corporate, it is now more and more difficult because corporate has got a lot of restriction. And if you realize, people don't follow companies now, they follow people. People buy from people. And you can see online, right? Very few companies have such a huge following, but their management may have huge followings. Yep, over to you.
Absolutely. And I think that when it comes to who we are going to be online and what we are going to say, and if you're a young person that's an engineer or a computer science person, or you're working on something, I mean, you could literally take a phone and you could just do some videos about what you're building and your concept and your ideas. You never know how the chief scientist at the biggest government institution could be watching this and saying, what a fascinating approach. Look at the way that they built, so simple. They did it with water instead of petrol. Oh, this is a breakthrough. This person must be in our organization. Oh, we want this person. And so you never know how, when you're doing stuff online, who's watching.
Yes, definitely. I would say my entire life now is very much because of social media. Without my social media presence, I wouldn't even have my book. My publisher wouldn't even want to publish my book, right? Because you need to have an audience. They need to have a reason to sell your book. And without me writing on social media, I wouldn't have so many ideas. So my book is the result of my writing. As I write over the years on similar topic, the idea became clearer with more example. And sometimes my followers give me ideas through the comments. From there, it will grow, and I'm able to come up with something that people can understand. And also I can choose some of the more popular posts to start a conversation and then to add that into my book. Plus my public speaking, again, through social media. They see what I post, my engagement, they say, okay, why don't you come and speak? So many of that can be done through social media. Now, the individual has a lot of presence online. Just one person. You need to create some content, like what you say. You don't know who's watching.
Very nice. I try to strike a balance between working a normal job during the day and doing the fun stuff like this and interacting online. And I wish I could only do the fun stuff full time, of course, but I have to earn a living, and so talking, the public speaking even is the fun stuff, and the writing articles is the fun stuff. And when do I find the time to do it? You try to make time in the evenings. Okay. And so if we look at who you should be online, I think the focus is that one should not be complaining online. And that is so important, that when you're interacting, even on personal social media or business social media, that you keep up your level of professionalism, and that you're not ridiculing people, and you're not the clever person who throws in a comment to try to bring somebody else down, but rather that you're encouraging, because people notice this person is positive, this person has got a nice vibe.
Yes, professionalism and positivity are very key on social media, because we need to think about the readers. They have enough trouble and negativity in their life already. Why do we need to add more negativity on social media? So if we want to do good, is to give people the encouragement, but not force encouragement. Not like, hey, comment below tomorrow, headhunter will call you. Not this type of fake positive or optimism, but really encourage people to say, hey, you take this action, maybe you can achieve this, or tell people your failure. So I have numerous failure in my career and also in my childhood. When I share my failure, it gives people hope that you can still achieve many things. I failed my English Now I'm an author. Of course, I cheated a little. I got a co-author to help me write, but still I'm a published author despite me not doing so well in school. So hopefully this will give people some hope that, yeah, even if you are weak, you can still achieve big success. And sometimes I like to tell people, your weakness can be your strength. So since I failed my English and I want to write on LinkedIn, I write in short sentences using simple English. And the outcome, I get a lot of non-native English speakers coming to read my articles because it is easy for them. And even for the native speakers, they find that no bombastic words, is simple. Plus, we already got cultural difference. We already got industry difference. Using simple words also help them understand my industry and my culture. And so my weakness in English became my strength when I write on social media. So these are the possibilities that we should give fellow readers.
Very, very nice. And personally, I try to do it myself. And I see that you also find a balance. You're cooking or doing stuff. And, and so let's talk a little bit about the balance between being human versus coming across as too smart or too serious. You know, you don't want to be the guy that's always trying to make out as if you're the most technical and your comments are just the most industry in depth because you are just so clever. You know, people notice, oh, this guy is always so technical, so long paragraphs, but rather tell us a little bit about how you kicked the bed and you stubbed your toe and there was a business lesson there, you know, to wear slippers in the house. You know, the people love that I think.
Yeah. I like to do personal stories with universal application. It's a story about yourself or somebody else that you got to know. And there is a lesson behind which is applicable to many people. If you just talk about personal stories, hey, I travel, I fly business class, I got upgraded to first class, I stay in this nice hotel. Nice story for the person writing, but it doesn't add any value to the reader. If you want to talk about the Michelin star restaurant that you visited, I say, go and talk to the chef. Get the story from the chef. How did he come up with this dish? How did he get 2 Michelin star? A chef who got 2 Michelin star must have gone through a lot of hard work, a lot of failures. Get that story out, and then if you post, you can tell people that you have visited this restaurant. At the same time, they get some key takeaway. Oh, this chef worked so hard, got rejected so many times. Finally, he got 2 stars for his restaurant. So those type of posts usually do quite well. And in the long run, you build your brand and people would like to come back to you. And for people who are always doing very high level content, always thinking that they are right, their best content, it's also not bad, just that you may not build the kind of rapport with your readers. You know, then it becomes a bit like a magazine, and then you don't have that personality. And what I hope is, as a writer, you also can bring yourself down to different levels, because there are a whole spectrum of people who may or may not understand your industry or your country, your language. So hopefully we have writers who can speak to a wide range of people.
Absolutely. I always think that the people that I've connected with online are like-minded business people. we all working, we all trying our best. Some of us are cycling, scuba diving, running businesses. Some of us are trying to build businesses. And when I put stuff online, whether it's a video or articles, I always try to think these people are probably sitting at their desk, of course, or and what I'm going to be writing and publishing going to add to the joy of their day. Some of it is industry related insight, and some of it is just life and business related insight. But ultimately, you don't want to come across as a spammer. You want people to have a nice day. And this is where they're getting their news, and this is where they're getting their inspiration. And so the thinking really is that people are appreciating what you've got, and then hopefully they will want to interact with you, comment, or you comment about their stuff. It's like one big friendship of business people. That's the way that I see it.
It is absolutely the way to do it. Ultimately, the value that we get is not the number of likes, but it's the relationship. Number of likes, yeah, you will boost your ego a little bit. It's a benchmark of how well your articles is doing. But the value is the people who are liking, engaging, commenting. You build a relationship because they come week after week, and you get to know them. You get to know their aspiration, their dreams. Can we help them? Or if they want to help us, are we open to receive this help? And that relationship can go a long way. And also, I make it a point to introduce people within my network to each other. That's the beauty of social media. The social element is to build that relationship.
Very nice. And what's quite nice is we don't need money to participate online. It's the best. The barrier to entry is the moat is gone.
Yeah. We don't need money. We just need time. So if you can free up some time. So for me, writing is putting it on the calendar. Every Tuesday, I will write and post Tuesday morning Singapore time at around 8 a.m. And on Thursday, I have got my teaching assistant to post under Institute of Life. And I will share that as well around on Thursday, 8 a.m. So that's what I do just twice. And sometimes if I'm asked to write articles by media company, I may do so on another day. So if you do like 2 to 3 times a week, I think it's already enough.
Not too much, just enough. Nice interaction, absolutely. And this is really my last question, statement. And what has the pandemic taught us about business online? Because back in the day, you'd have to go to a conference on the other side of the world. You'd have to collect business cards. The world is always supposed to be more digital. You don't need big cities, because now you don't need to sit by the fax machine. You don't need to sit by the telephone. You can live in a big house. You don't have to go into the office. It's going to change shopping centers. People want deliveries. And so the pandemic has sped that up. Our business is called Virtual Actuary because our 10-year goal, it might even be a 15-year goal, is actuaries consulting from home in virtual and augmented reality. So that is a long-term goal. So what has the pandemic taught us about business online?
I think before that is humans are very adaptable. Given the situation, people can adapt. I always teach in person, right, before COVID, and to teach on Zoom, was pretty unimaginable before I tried teaching. The result wasn't so great. People were not so receptive. but now it's amazing. And business online is we need to be able to conduct business online, because I also train insurance agent, life insurance agent. They cannot meet their customers so frequently. There's no more big conferences for them to go to get to know new people, no more exchanging of name card. So now they need to go online and look for new customers. And to look for new customers, customers going to look at your content, your profile. What have you been doing? Who are your friends? Who are your connection? Before they agree to be connected with you, before they agree to spend 10, 15 minutes with you for you to sell your product. So that has moved things even more. And the mindset that we have is, it is unlikely we go back to face-to-face 100%. You know, with the latest development, I think we are going to see the current way of working, like working from home or hybrid working, for the next 2 years.
Absolutely. I think that no one really knows, these futurists, what's going to happen. I always say to people, the fourth industrial revolution is not actually robots and flying cars and blockchain and flying to Mars, but rather that technology is affordable for the man and the woman on the street to be able to interact with the world. And that is really the time that we're in at the moment, learning the etiquette of how to engage with people, building the credibility and the rapport, so that when you knock on their door, they're happy to give you a few moments.
Yes, and also learning how to use Zoom. For example, can you pull an image next to your face? You know, when you're giving a presentation, do you have good microphone so that people can hear you clearly? Or do you dress up properly? So all of this, I think, are the little things that we can do in order to create that rapport and trust in a short period of time.
Eric, I wish we had the whole day to talk about various things.
Me too.
And I'm thankful and grateful that you've shared your wisdom and your time with me. And I look forward to more interactions, and hopefully one day in person as well. I'd like to come and visit you somewhere down the line.
Sure. And you know that I have my book coming up. It's called Small Action, coming out in a few days. So a lot of what I talk about just now, as well as online, is collected here. And I hope you can read it and give me your feedback.
Thank you. Thank you. Why orange? Where did the orange come from?
Orange is my corporate color. And always here, if you can see, this is my pocket square with little orange as well. And I am I'm a person who is very consistent. So orange is young, energy, lively. So this is how we live our life, to be bright, colorful, and happy. That's why orange.
Thank you. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you.
Ciao.